a lot of people on the page went crazy. This is not a crispy dog. You're gentrifying it, which is not really even the right term to use for that, but that's what they were saying. And that you're using these California blue tortillas, not knowing that they're actually the original, and they're going back thousands of years. These are the tortillas.
Yeah.
But people don't know. And so that's one of the reasons we wanted to have you on to talk about that.
Yeah. And then for whatever reason, and it's funny because me and Jose Relata, the taco editor of Texas Monthly, he talks about how we have this little ongoing thing, how San Antonio is so terco, terco is Spanish for stubborn. In their ways as far as, what they think a certain concept should be or a taco. And so for them to say, we're trying to gentrify, well, first of all, we're Mexicanos. I mean.
So why did you focus on healthier in a lot of your cooking and a lot of your talk, and you're wanting to have less artificial dyes and more real products and even vegetarian type stuff? What brought you to enjoy that type of thing?
When you get these tortillas and you have them, a lot of people say, oh, man, your tortillas, they smell weird. Why do they smell like that? And I'm like,
not weird, good.
They have it reversed.
Yeah.
They've grown up on tortillas that you can get at H-E-B, right?
Yeah.
They're cheap. It's weird to me. I don't trust it. You can go to H-E-B, you can buy a dozen tortillas, and you can go home and put them in your pantry, not refrigerated. Go on vacation for a month.
Yeah.
Come back, no mold.
Yeah. What's
still
up with
edible.
That? Yeah.
It's all the preservatives.
Welcome to The More You Know, The Better It Tastes. We are the only podcast for San Antonio restaurants, and I'm Alan Williams, and we are so glad to have you here today. My business partner, Susie, is not in today, but I'm holding it down, and we have a great guest that'll help me hold it down. We have Chef Paul Morales. And Paul, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Paul owns a really cool tortilla company. We're going to get into all the details, but it's Ancient Heirloom Grain Tortillas, which are healthy and really well made, and it's this new technology, right, that no one else is doing. Tell me about this new technology. Is that what you're doing?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a new technology as far as it's over 1,000 years old, but no.
New in the last 1,000 years.
Right.
But probably
the last
2,000 actually, right?
We just keep it simple. We do the old-fashioned Nixtamalization process. There's 3 ingredients in there. It's the corn, water, and the calcium. The calcium that we use to actually do the Nixtamalization process. And they're naturally gluten-free, so, we really rely on the calcium to basically the science behind it is when you cook the corn in the calcium, it loosens the pericarp from the actual kernel, and then it kind of turns it into like a binder.
Okay.
Because there's no gluten in them. So that's the only thing that really keeps them together.
That holds them together, yeah.
So
okay.
It
makes sense because it's like, well, how can corn stick together? But it's
it's weird, and it actually it gives it a lot of flavor. Mm-hmm. People when they smell the corn tortilla, they think, oh man, that's really high quality corn, and it is. But the corn takes that smell from the nixtamalization. If you were to smell corn fresh off the cob or even dried, it doesn't smell like corn tortillas until you add the calcium is what we call it. It's calcium actually, but we call it cal in Spanish for short. But that's the smell that you're used to smelling. And when you smell it, it's when you walk into the molino when they're doing it fresh, it's so good, and it's just like one of those things like.
Can we talk about where you make these at?
Yeah.
So you it's your ingredients, but you're making them there at the Colonial
San Antonio Colonial. Yeah.
Raimundo. And that place, you don't have to walk in. You just get out of your car and you already smell it. It's so fresh. It's so good.
And it reminds me of my grandmother lived on the west side, and back in the day in the 70s, it seemed like there was a molino every 4 blocks because they would provide tortillas and pan dulce in the morning, and the smells that would come out of these places with the corn cooking and then the bread baking, making fresh guanchas and cookies, and oh my goodness. And it's such a memory for me, and whenever I go into the molino and I smell that, it just takes me right back to my grandma's house, and it's very nostalgic. It's hard for me not to get romantic about talking about these things, especially And I was so fortunate, because Raimundo actually just this past week celebrated 40 years.
40 years with as the colonial tortilla.
Of making
Wow.
Making the tortillas. I mean, you can't, I'm a chef and I love corn tortillas, but, the reason I started making tortillas is because when I was living in LA, I came across these tortillas called Kernel of Truth. And when I moved back home during the pandemic, I couldn't find them here. Nobody was doing them. Mm-hmm. You could get good corn tortillas here, but not heirloom corn. It was cost prohibitive, The colors, people didn't know about the colors really, unless you've actually been, in Oaxaca or, Central Mex. You're not going to really see these colors. And these ones we have here, these are blue, but
they're blue. Yeah,
we've can get them in purple. Mm-hmm. We've had them in red, and people think that
I'm not sure which camera we should use, but yeah. So.
Yeah, those are the regular size, and these are the minis. These are the little street taco guys here.
Ah, gotcha.
The ones you can eat like a dozen of those, no problem.
Yeah.
Some of the taco places, they double up on them.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but we make ours a little bit thicker to kind of.
You don't need to double up.
They don't need to double them up. But yeah, I love them, and. When you get these tortillas and you have them, a lot of people say, "Oh man, your tortillas, they smell weird. Why do they smell like that?" And I'm like,
"Not weird, good."
They have it reversed.
Yeah,
they've grown up on tortillas that you can get at H-E-B, right?
Yeah,
they're cheap. It's weird to me. I don't trust it. You can go to H-E-B, you can buy a dozen tortillas, and you can go home and put them in your pantry, not refrigerated. Go on vacation for a month.
Yeah,
come back, no mold.
Yeah,
what's still edible.
That? Yeah,
it's all the preservatives, and then they smell those tortillas cook, and they think that's regular. So when they smell an actual fresh one, these smell weird to them because they don't have the plastic in them and they don't have the preservatives.
Wow.
And I try to tell them, look, you got it reversed, But usually, the proof is in the pudding, like they say. When they taste them, they're like, oh wow, I can taste the difference. I get it. Yeah, and it's. We take it one taco at a time. You know what I mean? We try to convert them one taco at a time. And when I was setting them up, when I was set up at the Pearl, I liked being at the Pearl, man, but it was rough because you're out there. It's either 120 degrees out there or it's raining and very inconsistent. And I was just, I'm getting old. I'm like, man, I'm tired of schlepping all these equipment out and grills and comals and burners and. And, but when I used to make the migas fresh out there, people would come. They just had to smell it, and then, boom, I got them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Once they smell it, they're like, oh, yeah. And then we would do it with, like, duck eggs, a duck egg migas.
Wow,
oh,
very
cool.
Goodness.
It's
very
so
cool.
rich,
Yeah. Well, let's briefly kind of go through your history now. I understand your family had a meat market, or there were butchers, a family of butchers, right? And so that's kind of where you got
that's what my uncle gave me this. This is from the 50s, and it's so weird when we look at here. How much inflation, This is in the 50s. A 10-pound box of prime rib roasts, $7.90 for 10 pounds.
Yeah, let's do that.
That would be like $200 now, easy.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and
I bought one ribeye steak yesterday, and it was $28.
Yeah, it probably wasn't even a pound.
Yeah, no.
It's probably like 12 ounces or something like that. And look at this new novel thing they had here. My grandfather was such a showman business. If you order from him, he would give you a dozen unbreakable 9-ounce plastic cups.
Oh, wow.
Because everything at that point was glass,
Yeah.
So they had these things. It's so weird. Extra 16 slices of American cheese, 69 cents. A gallon of jalapeno peppers, $1.
Oh, my goodness.
So
if
crazy.
we could have the money we have now, but those prices, we would be doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, he after World War II, he opened up his butcher shop, meat company. And, that was my childhood. I grew up, I was lucky. I got to do the whole Rocky thing, hitting the sides of beef.
You probably didn't really appreciate that, did it?
Oh man, I loved it. I had been working there at my grandfather's meat shop since I was 8 years old. It was, it was easier for me to take me to work than find a babysitter sometimes. You know what I mean? They put him to work.
Yeah.
My first job there was bagging 10 pounds of meat into plastic bags. And then seasoning fajitas. And then eventually they let me go with a knife, but I had to be careful, or I would wrap fillets or tenderize cube steak, chicken fried steak, because, being from Texas, a lot of people ordered those cube steaks.
Yeah.
And it was weird because my grandfather, his 4 fingers right here were all level, because when he was little, he got his hand caught in the meat tenderizer and it ate up his 4 fingers right here.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah. I saw some crazy stuff there. I saw a guy cut his hand off there before. He was cutting steaks and they were messing around on the bandsaw and it was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Another guy got his hand stuck in the meat grinder. And
that's
worse. It was pulling him in and my dad had to pull him off. He saved his life. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was, I was like 12 years old when it happened. I was like, a little trauma.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So you kind of grew up in there, and so you became a chef. You followed in your family's footsteps of being a butcher, but then you
I kind of went the other way with it. Against my family's. I didn't go to be a butcher at first. Like you said, I kind of was. It was kind of blasé about it. I was like, I wanted to be a cook. I wanted to work with the heat. I'd been working in a cooler my whole life, 42 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went from the other extreme to working in a 120-degree kitchen, right, in front of a 500-degree oven all day, roasting steaks. But no, I loved it, and working in, my first job in a kitchen was, it's not around anymore. It was called Fajita Express.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
Fajita Junction.
Oh, those were the little bitty ones, right?
And it was the first, their kind of claim to fame was they had double drive-throughs,
one on each side. I remember it.
Yeah, and then back in the day, that was before Taco Cabana was what it was. You had Alfonso's, Sombrero Rosa.
I remember that.
All those little places. None of them. Taco Cabana's the only one that made it out of them.
Yeah, and it's not the same.
I know.
It's totally different than it was back then.
I know. It's crazy. And it's crazy. It's funny how when I was selling my with Tacos Cucuy with my food truck, I was selling elevated tacos, and I got a lot of slack, which kind of brings us to this new thing with Bar Gimme Gimme, where they were like, "Why are you making fancy? First of all, your tacos are too expensive, because I'm using quality meat."
Well, let's set that up a little bit so everyone's understanding. One of the reasons that Paul is here today, number one, when he did our audio podcast, to this day, it's one of my favorite episodes that we did. He's very knowledgeable in GMO corn and understanding the history of tortillas and in understanding the history of cooking in general. And so I don't think enough people heard that. And so I wanted to have you, now that we have cameras, I wanted to get you here for that. But the other reason that you're here is because you're doing some work with the Bar Gimme Gimme. Mm-hmm. Well, explain what's going on.
So Aaron Penny is a friend of mine, and he asked me, "Hey man, let's do corn dogs." I was like, "Absolutely." And originally, when I wanted to do a corn dog, I wanted to do it even more fancier than just using blue corn. We wanted to kind of make it like where we take the raw.
You're saying corn dog, you mean crispy dog, right?
Crispy dog, crispy dog. Yeah. You're right. But the reason why I'm saying corn dog is because originally, when I used to do them before, there was this guy in L.A. called Evil Cooks, where I got this idea from, where he would just take, instead of using the cooked tortilla, he would make the tortilla and then wrap it raw.
Okay.
And then fry it. So it was almost like a corn dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But then he was like, "Nah, let's just keep it old school."
Okay.
And so he did the the old-fashioned way, and they put cheese in it as well.
Okay, sort of old-fashioned way, but you're using blue corn and you're using
a really good high-quality, all beef, Frank
wiener.
Yeah. You're not getting the mystery meat one, the ones, that suspect ones where you can get like 1,000 of them for $2. Like, what are you getting? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he we didn't think anything of it. It was just a Monday night special. It was for industry night. For Monday nights is usually when hospitality people have the day off.
They're off,
They work on the weekends, and it was supposed to be, geared towards them. And then for whatever reason, and it's funny because me and Jose Relat, the taco editor of Texas Monthly, he talks about how we have this little ongoing thing, how San Antonio is so terco, terco is Spanish for stubborn.
Oh,
in their ways as far as, what they think a certain concept should be or a taco. And so for them to say, like, we're trying to gentrify, well, first of all, we're Mexicanos. I mean,
so let me back up again. So you're selling these. Somebody happened to write about it on San Antonio restaurants that you were having these blue corn tortillas with a cashew beef wieners.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on the page went crazy. This is not a crispy dog. You're gentrifying it, which is not really even the right term to use for that, but that's what they were saying. And that you're using these California blue tortillas, not knowing that they're actually the original, and they're going back thousands of years. These are the tortillas.
Yeah.
But people don't know. And so that's one of the reasons we wanted to have you on to talk about that.
Yeah. No, I think it was just, I think a lot of it was tongue in cheek. People just like to, want to be heard and whatnot. But, we took it in stride,
Speaking of tongue in cheek, so Aaron, and I knew who Aaron Pena was, of course, but I have never met Aaron. But I saw that he had posted on his own personal page that he said he got canceled by San Antonio restaurants. So I thought, well, that's my page. I don't want people to think that I canceled Aaron Pena.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, no, you didn't. He didn't. He's kidding.
Yeah. No, he's kind of sarcastic. He's funny, but yeah, I don't think this has been his first controversial thing that he's done before. Yeah. So, he said, I've been canceled for less, I think is one of his things that he said. And, it's just San Antonio. I hate to admit it, though. And I think that's why a lot of people have trouble. San Antonio is they want to be, first of all, they always have this beef with Austin, like who has the best and all that. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just like, I think that type of thinking kind of stifles creativity. To say that you can't, the French did it, the Italians did it, as far as, if you look at the history of fancy dishes, coq au vin, and how they want to stay so attached to the roots of a dish and not to veer from the recipe. But, come on, how long is enough? I think that's why San Antonio, in my honest opinion, is not as taco forward as cities like Austin or even Houston, because San Antonio is so set in their ways that they don't want to change and expand their horizon on what could a taco be or like when I do my things, when I do my tacos, people freak out because I have a lot of French influence in my cooking. And I do a lot of things cooking beans with wine. And these are just French techniques, And when I make my charcuterie, it's also, which is basically charcuterie is just fancy butchery, which kind of was weird because I started in butchery, then I went to culinary school, got really into French food, and then circled back into butchery, which I kind of knew. But then, like with my charcuterie that I do, I use French techniques, but with South Texas flavor profiles. So that's how I come up with, menudo head cheese and chorizo and egg pate and weird things that people are like, what the hell is that? And I was like, man, you just got to be, open-minded. Aren't you tired of the same things? I don't know. To me, it seems like San Antonio is a little insecure as far as they don't want to branch out too much, and I think that kind of stifles creativity in San Antonio. You know what I mean? We went to go eat at Alec's place, the guy that used to run Carnitas Longhao. He has a new restaurant.
Yeah, Hildebrand. Hillcrest, I think, right?
Yeah, on Fredericksburg, right in the Deco district.
Oh, okay.
And I met Jose and Rodrigo out there yesterday, and man, we had about 15 tacos. We just tried everything. And everybody knows he does great carnitas, but he had this mushroom. Oh man, it was so good. It was like the costra with the melted cheese, where they put the cheese on it, and then they put the thing, and they put the tortilla, then they flip it, and it's got the burnt cheese on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, and it was. And usually, I'm a meat guy, but man, those mushrooms, I think he cooked them in a black mole or something. Oh my God. It was so good. I almost got another one of those. But and then the beans were good. The beans were whole. You can tell when people overcook beans, they split and they break up.
Yeah. Or they cook them too fast.
And these were good, slow cooked. All the beans were whole. That's how you can kind of tell. Mm-hmm. That's more of a Spanish technique.
Okay.
Where they don't stir them, they shake the pot. Kind of like a risotto, because they don't want to agitate it too much so that. Because the beans, they hold the flavor in, and when they bust, it makes a good broth, but you want the texture when you bite into it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, yeah, if you go there, try the beans.
Yeah, I definitely will go there.
Yeah, no, Tacopolis, it's a nice little place. It's not pretentious at all. It's just a couple tables in there. The menu's on the wall. You order, you see all your tacos being made, and they come out in waves. Well, they did for us because we ordered so many, but it was really good.
Yeah.
But, I think San Antonio, has the, now that we have like, a UNESCO city, I think, man, I just wish people were more open-minded. Like, I remember when I won that contest, I won it with a squash blossom taco.
And most people would be like, what?
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then, but you know what? That's super Mexican. Like, people in Mexico eat that. You know what I mean? Like, people don't eat meat at every meal in Mexico. A lot of the Mexican food is vegetarian, just like Indian food is. I don't know. I get off on a rant, dude.
No, it's good stuff. No, it frustrates me as well. And I hear people. You mentioned how they trash Austin just because it's not San Antonio. Same thing with California, and people seem to have this idea that as soon as you cross some imaginary border, you no longer know how to cook. And it works both ways, too. People from California come here and say, no one knows how to cook in San Antonio. Yeah. No one does? Really? Not anyone? Not one person? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's frustrating. But yeah, so that little thing on Facebook about your crispy dogs kind of took off.
Yeah, it did.
It was people talking about it.
You reached out to me. Jose is writing a piece on it for Texas Monthly. Pollyanna Rocha contacted me from my essay, and I was like, you know what? Hey, at this point, any publicity is good for me right now, right? What do they say? Any publicity is good publicity.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's not all bad as long as they're talking about
as
you.
long as they're still relevant, right? Talk about Insecure.
Well, let's stop here and take a break,
Okay.
and then we'll come back and we'll finish up with Chef Paul Morales of Ancient Heirloom Grain Tortillas.
Awesome. Thank you.
Susie, one of our biggest audience members is restaurant owners or people that are thinking about getting into restaurants.
Yes.
And from talking to them, the biggest issue they have in running a restaurant is their POS system.
Absolutely. It's such an important, of course, part of being a restaurant owner.
Yeah, and some of them they're just these big behemoth software companies that do so much it just gets. San Antonio POS is who we recommend because San Antonio POS is locally owned, locally managed, and you get local service.
Absolutely. I mean, we've heard some restaurant owners who have been in such a pickle. They've needed to get a representative out there to fix something on their POS system because it is so important, and they haven't been able to get a hold of somebody or get somebody out there. They'll tell them it's 3 days before we can get somebody out there, and that is not workable. Where with San Antonio POS, because they are local, they're there and ready to help.
They're right away. San Antonio POS uses SkyTab, which is a software that was made for the hospitality industry, and it has everything you already want. But the first thing that our friend David Dyken that owns San Antonio POS, he'll come out and he'll sit with you and find out exactly what your processes are and design it for your restaurant.
Yeah, and one of the reasons, because we are really picky about who we work with, even sponsors, we want to make sure that, they are...
You're not picky. You work with me.
Yeah. I'm very picky.
All right.
But David is amazing. He has a heart like we do, as far as the restaurant owners go, where he really cares and he goes in there. He wants the restaurant to succeed.
And he's been doing this more than 30 years, so he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, exactly.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about San Antonio POS is that system is there's no hidden costs.
That's right.
So a lot of different systems, they charge for their gift cards, they charge for loyalty programs, they charge for all of those different types of things where it's all included.
Yeah, and not only that, right now they have a special. If you have a San Antonio POS put into your system, afterwards, you'll get $5,000 back. That helps to cover the cost for your training, helps cover the cost of any downtime that you had while switching. It really is a great opportunity.
It is a great program. Exactly, yeah. So David Dyken is the individual that you want to get a hold of. He owns San Antonio POS, and as we said, amazing fella. And you can go to his website. Alan, his phone number is
210-723-6075.
Make sure you say that San Antonio Restaurants or the Flavors of Texas sent you.
That's right. And you can also go to our website, which is theflavorsoftexas.com. Scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see a banner that says San Antonio POS. Click on that, and it takes you right there.
Absolutely.
All right. And we are back. And this is The More You Know, The Better It Tastes. And our guest today is Chef Paul Morales. He is the owner of Ancient Heirloom Grain Tortillas. And where can you get these tortillas?
You can get them at we sell the blue, regular size blue, the 5.5 inch at Pullman Market, and you can get those pretty much any day. If you want something special, order different colors. We do the kind that are half blue, half yellow. We can get reds, purples, greens. We can do whatever color you like, different sizes. These are the street taco size. We also have the Siberia size, which are 9 inch. So we have a lot more options if you contact us personally, either through our website, Instagram, or Facebook.
What is it that changes the colors of it? Because it's just corn, water,
it's just
and
the corn.
calcium.
Yeah, it's just the corn, the color of the corn, and, you know. And but in order to change the tortilla colors, like if we wanted to put 2 colors, we just have 2 different massas and we mix them at the machine and then pump them out.
So at a basic level, when I go to a little Tex-Mex restaurant and they bring me a bowl of chips and some of them are red, some of them are yellow, it's just they're 2 different kinds of corn.
Yeah, well, the red ones, those are dyed. Because that color of red, the kind you see like during Christmas where they have the green and red ones, those colors don't exist in nature.
Wow.
Those are dyed. You know, these blue are actual from blue corn, and when you add the calcium, it kind of dims them a little bit, but they keep their color. And then when you cook them, they darken up as well, and when you fry them, especially. And, you know, nature has so many, like red corn comes out pink. It doesn't come out red. When you see those red, like bright red tortillas at the store, those are dyed, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these
are not.
Yeah, these are not. No.
Yeah.
And when we make our colors, it's because we'll add beetroot or we'll add spirulina or we'll add activated charcoal. Like I like to use squid ink.
Okay. But very natural stuff.
Very natural, but it also, when you use squid ink and then you serve like a grilled octopus or a fish, it just looks beautiful.
Yeah, I've had squid ink. I was going to say pasta, I think, at Toro. Yeah.
Bruce Auden does it too.
Oh, the paella with squid ink all over. Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't have a super fishy taste.
No.
People think it would, but it doesn't. And
a little bit of one, enough to let you know that it's natural.
But not what you would think.
No.
Like it's not like oh wow, like, you know. And the risotto, I've had it with that too.
Yeah, so I guess I'm the one who asks you the question about the colors. But anyway, so you can get these at Pullman Market.
Yes, we can get the blues at Pullman Market. If you want to order straight from me, you can. You'll probably get a better price.
So you can go to your website or your Facebook page.
Or people usually reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. And so they should go to Ancient Heirloom Grain, or they should go to Chef Paul Morales or Paul
Ancient
Morales.
Heirloom Grains.
Okay.
I have pages for those on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And just reach out to me. We also do catering. We do
So let's talk
taco
about
parties.
That. You used to have a food truck, Taco Cocoy, and you won big awards with that. And so that is what you're doing with your catering, right? You bring up those wonderful tacos and we'll come right to your house.
People love them. I do, my award-winning tacos. We do them, catering at your house. We have a trompo that we can make, so we can come do the whole the taquero experience in your backyard. We do nacho bar. We do pan dulce coffee bar. We have all kinds of catering options available for people.
Wow.
And people really respond to it. My food is very colorful, and it can be very healthy. We have a lot of vegan and vegetarian people. The tacos, my tortillas are vegan. There's no animal fats in them or anything. The only time you add fat to masa is like when you're making tamales and stuff like that. But corn tortillas typically are not like flour tortillas where you need a fat.
What is a gordita? Does that have some fat in it a little bit?
Yeah, gordita is they add some fat in there to the masa to make it more of a rich, like tamales and tocoyos, and there's so many different types of masa preparations that you have your machete, you have your mulitas. There's so many different things, and people get we do a lot of catering, and we do croquetas, and sometimes people just want small appetizers. They don't want the whole taco, but we also do all that too.
So you'll come out and do catering, and even if it's appetizer type thing,
definitely,
just enough, you'll do that.
Oh,
Wow.
for sure. Yeah, people love our stuff. We have a lot of the people that we do catering is repeat. They see it. A lot of them are like from California. Because I think more of my style is more. It's not really Tex-Mex. It's more Mexican, more Alta California style, which is using a lot of fresh ingredients, a lot of vegetable-based tacos, just a healthier. But we can do barbacoa. We do, the very heavy meats too.
Yeah. Yeah. So just briefly, I don't think we covered it. Why did you focus on healthier in a lot of your cooking and a lot of your talk, and you're wanting to have less artificial dyes and more real products and even vegetarian type stuff? What brought you to enjoy that type of thing?
I think it was a very heavily influenced when I moved out to California. I'm a big guy still. I probably always will be a big guy, but I used to be 450 pounds. And, I used to work at a lot of restaurants where it was like barbecue style, home cooking, chicken fried steaks, real unhealthy foods. And, and then I think a lot of Tex-Mex foods are very unhealthy. The amount of tortillas, flour tortillas that we eat, the refried beans with all the extra added fat, all that stuff. San Antonio has a very high diabetes population, and a lot of the poorer foods, struggle meals is very laden with high salt, high fat content, fried. So I just tried to, I had to get healthier. It was hard for me to walk. It was hard for me to walk up and down stairs. I was breathing hard. And the whole time I'm still working 60, 70 hours a week, and I was killing myself. And at the end of the day, man, I just had to lay down. I just couldn't walk. It was horrible. So, at the time when I won that competition was like my least amount of weight. I was down to, I think, like 265 from 450, almost 200 pounds I lost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you did get healthy. Your daughter Angelica is here today, and she didn't have a microphone, but you probably have seen her in the camera.
She gave me a granddaughter, so
well.
Our little baby Raya.
Yay! So. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I really am glad that you came, and
thank you
you're
for
a fascinating
having us.
guy. You're very, very, very smart. You know your stuff, and it shows, and it's just an interesting thing. So, if everyone wants these wonderful, fresh, natural, ancient heirloom grain tortillas, you can go to his Facebook page, or you can go to the website.
Yep, or Pullman Market.
And you can also look for Tacos Cocoy and have them come out and make all kinds of stuff for you. He'll bring the tortillas and make them for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us again.
All right. Everyone, please remember, tell your friends about this podcast. Let them know. And also go out and support local. That's what we want to do. So thank you, and we'll be back again next week, and we'll have another great interview. Don't know who it'll be, but it's going to be good. So we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.